answer the question correctly. So please be attentive in the class and you may win Bhagavad Gita today. So before we start, we pay our obeisances to our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan. So let us start our chanting, praying. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Pashata Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Pashata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadadha Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadadha Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadadha Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadadha Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare everyone Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadram Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadram Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya 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 Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Srila Prabhupada की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय So today we are discussing devotional service. So Bhagavad Gita has got 3 parts. What all yoga Bhagavad Gita talks about? Can someone tell? Yes, Prabhu? Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, very true. So basically, Bhagavad Gita talks about Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Okay. So first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is basically about Karma Yoga. Next 6 chapter is about Bhakti Yoga, and last 6 chapter is about Jnana Yoga. Very true. So Bhakti Yoga is in between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. It's so confidential. It has been kept between the 2 yogas. Okay. So from chapter 7 to chapter 12 is Bhakti Yoga. 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga. And first 6 chapter is Karma Yoga. So today what we are discussing? We are discussing about devotional service. That is Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So what is the importance of Bhakti Yoga? Anyone would like to say something about that? Why Bhakti Yoga is so important that it has been kept confidentially between 2 yoga systems? Anyone has any thought about this? Only through the Bhakti you can? Oh, very true. Only through the Bhakti you can please Krishna. Very true. Very nice answer. Anyone else would like to add anything? Anyone else would like to say something? Importance of Bhakti Yoga? Anything that comes to your mind. Doesn't have to be. Yes, Prabhu.
Between man and God, there's a difference of awareness. Knowing what is and knowing what is not.
Can someone close the door, Prabhu? Close this door, or noise. Yes, Prabhu, a bit louder.
Such a strong connection is a very short path to know what
Yes.
And thus you don't hurt others like for a start.
Okay, yeah.
Like when you don't know what is, you can do all kinds of stupid things thinking, not knowing what you're doing.
That's true. Any important points of Bhakti Yoga, anything that you want, you are thinking in your mind, see, there is no answer, is a silly answer. Okay? So just open up and just tell.
Bhakti Yoga is easier to do.
Bhakti Yoga is easier to do. Very true, very true. Any other important point of Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga connects with Krishna. Okay.
Devotion to God.
Yeah, that is Bhakti Yoga. Okay, I think most of people have given right answer. So, in Bhagavad Gita, we see there is Karma Yoga, we see there is Bhakti Yoga, we see there is Jnana Yoga, but if you read carefully all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita, it will point out that Krishna wants only Bhakti from you. Krishna doesn't want all other yoga, Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. Krishna wants Bhakti from you. So and so is telling, Sarv Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Raj. Aham Tvam Sarv Papebhyo Mokshashami Ma Shucha. To that extent he goes. So Bhakti Yoga is very easy to perform. The point Prabhuji has mentioned is very true. Bhakti Yoga is very easy to perform. And Bhakti Yoga is most potent in the sense that if you follow Bhakti Yoga, in this lifetime you can go back to Godhead. You don't have to wait for another life. But in Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, it is possible. First thing, to implement Karma Yoga in true sense is very difficult. It is very difficult to implement Karma Yoga in true sense. And Jnana Yoga gives you more ahankar, ego. The more you become jnani, more ahankar will come to you. So that is a cause of fall down actually. It's not that Jnana Yoga is not important, but Jnana Yoga, only Jnana Yoga is not good. Because it makes someone puffed up with the knowledge. And Krishna doesn't like ahankar. We say in Hindi there is a proverb, ahankar Ishwar ka bhojan hai. Ego is the food of the Lord. Once you have got the ego, means gone. You will fall down. And that is happening actually, that is most of the time this is the case. So Bhakti Yoga is very easy to perform because in Bhakti Yoga, now question comes. Even when in Dwapar age, Arjuna was there with Krishna, Arjuna is asking that question. Even in Dwapar age, there were different types of people. Some people were worshipping, Bhakti Yoga, some people were carrying out Bhakti Yoga, some people were carrying out, the meditation, some people were, meditating on the impersonal feature of the Supreme. Even those days it was there. So that thing we can see in Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna asked that question to Krishna. He said, chapter 12 is the Bhakti Yoga chapter, the last chapter of Bhakti Yoga. So a lot of information is there in that particular chapter. He asked a question to Krishna. Arjuna vacha evam satati yuktaye bhaktas tvam paryupasate ye chapi aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. He is telling, oh Lord, who is better? Those who worship your personal form is better, or those who worship the impersonal feature of the Supreme is better? See, in Dwapar age also, people had that confusion today we have. Isn't that true? We have confusion today. We see so many sadhus in India. We say, why? The sadhus, why they are like that? And if only sadhu will go back to Godhead, will not be able to go back to Godhead. That always comes in Grahastha mind, always this question comes. When they see sadhu, they say, oh, these sadhu are very pious people, saintly people, they will go back to Godhead. And we are Grihastha, will not be able to go back to Godhead. But that is not what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. So when Arjuna asked that question, एवं सतति युक्ताये भक्तास्त्वं पर्युपासते ये चापि अक्षरमय वक्तम तेषाम के योगित्मा. Then Krishna replies to that question. He says, Shri Bhagavan uvacha मयि अवेश मनो ये माम नित्युक्ता उपासते श्रद्धाया पर्योपेता तमे युक्तो तमामता. He is telling those who worship my personal form with great and transcendental faith, he is the best. He is the best. So this is what Krishna is telling. So now you can understand that you should never think the sadhu, santas, those who are meditating on the impersonal feature of the Supreme, they are the best. No, it's not true. If you are a grihastha or in any order of life, if you worship the personal form of the Lord, that is the best. That is the best. Not those who are Brahmavadi. They think Lord is an energy. Brahmavadi thinks Lord is impersonal, doesn't have any form. Like Islam. Islam also is like that. Muslim Dharma Islam is also like that. They don't have a form of the Lord. They say Lord is an energy. So Krishna is clearing the doubt of Arjuna. So Bhagavad Gita is such a book, it is gist of all Vedic literature. If you read Bhagavad Gita, your doubts will become very clear. That how you should worship the Lord, which form of worship is the best. So we saw that Krishna's verdict in this case. That those who worship my personal form with great and transcendental faith, he is the best. Then what happens to those who worship the impersonal feature of the Supreme? Krishna answered to that question as well in Bhagavad Gita. In same chapter 12, in text 6, he says, Klesho adhik tarastesham avyakta ashakti chetsam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha avdir avapte. He is telling, those who worship the impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement in spiritual life is very troublesome. Very troublesome. So what does that basically mean? Those who are Brahmavadi or those who follow the Islam, advancement in spiritual life is very difficult. Now you say, why it is very difficult? That answer also Krishna says. He says, if you have form, your father has got a form, like you have got two hands, eyes, nose, legs. Your father also has two eyes, nose, legs, hands. Your great-grandfather has got. Then Supreme Father, Krishna, or whoever is God, should also have the form, isn't it? If we say we are descendant from our Supreme Lord, whosoever that Supreme Lord is, has to have some form. Is it logical? It's very logical. You can't just come from nowhere. You just can't come from nowhere. There has to be some connection to your previous, generations. So if you have got a form, your father has got a form, your great-grandfather has got a form, your Supreme Father must have a form. And that Supreme Father is Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pita aham asjakto mata dhata pitamaha vadyam pavitram onkara riksham yajurevcha. I am the father, great-grandfather of this universe. I am the Vedas. So Vedas or all the scripture has come from the Lord only. Vedas are called apurusha, means something which not been done by Purush. Apurusha means opposite to the Purush. So this is a very important point to understand that the path that ISKCON movement is spreading, is Krishna consciousness movement, is very powerful. Why it is powerful? Because it is based on the instructions given by the Lord Himself. Lord has given that instructions. That Mai avesh mano emam nityukta upasate shraddhaya paryopeta tamayukto tamamata. One who worship my personal form with great and transcendental faith, he is the best. So that is why Bhakti Yoga is very potent. And also other place Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yasyasmi tatuta tato mam tato gyata viste tadanantaram. You can know me as I am only by bhakti. Not by the logic, not by the jnana, not by any other thing. Only by bhakti you can understand Krishna as it is. So that is why bhakti's position is very high. Even when you read the Karma Yoga for 6th chapter, at the end of 6th chapter, Krishna is telling, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana shraddhavan bhasteyo mam shameyuktotamamata. Of all yogi, the one who always abides in me, thinking of me within himself, rendering transcendental service to me, he is the best among all yogi. So even 6th chapter is known as Dhyan Yoga chapter. Even in Dhyan Yoga chapter, Krishna is giving this information at the end of Dhyan Yoga chapter. That who is best yogi? Those who meditates on me, on my personal form, is the best yogi. So that is why if you carefully read Bhagavad Gita from beginning to end, you will come to the conclusion Krishna is telling again and again, do bhakti. Now bhakti, how many types of bhakti are there? Just see, there is one person is pujari, or few people of pujari are there. They are doing archana here. Some people are in the kitchen, they are also doing something. Some people are cleaning here, they are also doing. Some people like you are attending this class. So what is bhakti then? Anyone who would like to say? Are they all doing bhakti? Yes, Prabhu. Very true. Bhakti is a love for the Lord. But my question is, try to understand my question. My question is very simple. That in ISKCON, here in this temple right now, there's few devotees are there who are doing puja in the altar. Few devotees are there working in the kitchen. Few devotees are there cleaning, toilet and other things. Few devotees are there, receptionists. Few devotees are here listening my lecture. Where is the bhakti? Is all bhakti? Yes, Mata is telling all bhakti. Is it all bhakti? How many of you agree with Mataji? Yes. So, there are 9 processes of bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj tells about that. Sharanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Ashmarnam Padasevnam, Arsanam Vandanam Dasham, Shakyam Atmanivedanam. The hearing is the first one. That is the sign of bhakti. If you hear about the Lord, that is the first form of bhakti, which is very important actually, which is very important. Sharanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Ashmarnam means remembering about the Lord. Padasevnam, doing puja. Like somebody is working in the altar. Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Shakyam, Atmanivedanam. So there are 9 processes of bhakti are there. All are bhakti. All are bhakti. So don't think you are here in the class, you are not doing bhakti, and pujari who is offering the bhoga, he is doing bhakti. It is not true. You are doing your bit and he is doing his bit. Somebody in the kitchen is making prasadam for all the devotees, they are also doing bhakti. So very nicely Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, which is called Bhakti Yoga. Heading of chapter 12 is Bhakti Yoga. It tells very nicely. So now all are doing bhakti. Are there bhakti? Can you say that some bhakti is better than others? Can you say that? But Krishna says yes. There is slight difference between one with the other.
The person who is completely surrendered for me will love and devotion.
Yeah. Yeah. So as Mata is telling you, love for the Lord is the pure bhakti. Very true. Just like all the gopis had love for Krishna, the highest form of bhakti. But not everybody can be in that level, isn't it? Just for example, I am telling. Somebody working in the kitchen, he is more interested in serving, making prasadam. Somebody is meditating on the Lord all the time. Somebody doing archana, like pujari. Yes, Prabhu.
whatever the action we are performing, if we dedicate to the Lord,
Yeah.
so that is the bhakti of God.
Yes. Not in true sense. Bhakti basically means love for the Lord unconditionally. Love doesn't come whatever action you perform. Love is from your inside. In all your actions, you associate Krishna and think, I am fully dependent on Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Doesn't love happen through
Like
grace of
spiritual
God?
love is the unconditional.
I can't hear. What done?
Does not love happen through the grace of God?
Uh,
Through the grace of Krishna?
okay, this is a very intelligent question, Prabhu. How you get bhakti? If I ask you, you are not knowing about Krishna consciousness, just for time being, just think that you don't know about Krishna. Somehow you came to this temple and you saw the Lord here and you started loving Lord. So from where the bhakti comes? Is the Lord gives you bhakti or you took some step from your side to come to the temple and then saw the Lord, or you saw someone doing the puja? From where the bhakti comes?
Bhakti comes from the association, from the nine process of bhakti, servant, sweet, bhakti, this thing, and also the association with the devotee.
Very nice answer. Bhakti comes from bhaktas. Bhakti doesn't come from Bhagavan directly, in the first place, in the first time. Bhakti comes from bhaktas. When you see someone doing bhakti to the Lord, you get inspired. When somebody behaving like a saintly person, you get inspired and then you also try to follow them. Is that true? For Lord, everyone is equal, by the way. For the Lord, everyone is equal. But the bhakti that you have developed inside you has come from someone else, you have seen it. The seed is there. Seed is there in everyone's heart about the Lord's love. The seed is there. But when you come to this temple, you must have seen someone doing some bhakti and you got inspired. Is that true? That is very true. Bhakti comes from bhaktas. Once you take the step, then Lord reciprocates your bhakti. The first time, it is from your side, not the Lord's side. First time you reciprocate, you show your love to the Lord, then Lord starts showing love towards you. So in the beginning, it is bhaktas, from bhaktas, bhakti generate in you. That is why Mataji has said, association of devotee is very important. When you associate with the devotee, then you see somebody is doing bhakti to the Lord and you get inspired. When you came to this temple, you met receptionist and they were receptionist, she was very kind to you, very courteous to you. Then you see, oh, I am at the right place. See, such a nice people are here. Who was giving prasadam free of charge without asking anything. Without anything, any intention in their mind, they are giving you prasadam and asking you, would you like to take more? Exactly. Bhakti comes from bhakta in the beginning. Once you show your love for the Lord, then Lord starts reciprocating you. Then Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadante tams tathe bhajamyaham mam vartamanu vartante manusya par sarvasya. As one surrenders, I reciprocate accordingly. So this is a very important point. In the beginning, bhakti that has developed in you, even though seed is there, but it develops because you are in association with the devotees. You see other devotees is doing the service, doing the bhakti, you also try to imitate them. Because when you see their behavior is so saintly behavior, then you get inspired from that behavior. And you also start. Then Krishna's magic comes in your life. Then Krishna is protecting you like a shadow. Then more and more bhakti comes in you and it grows more and more. Then you become, big devotee of the Lord at one point of time. But in the beginning, it is with the association. So and so, the Srila Prabhupada, when he went to US, those people there many of them are Maharaj now, big position, president of temple. They were drug addict at some point of time. They were drug addict, actually, yes. And they, because of associating the pure devotee, their whole life changed. They gave up, non-veg food and other things. It's very difficult for a person who is non-vegetarian to give up the non-vegetarian food. It's very difficult. For Indian origin people, it's not difficult because in India mostly people are vegetarian, mostly. Or even if they take non-veg, we take non-veg very occasionally, not every day, all the 3 times like that. But other places is very difficult. We give up the non-vegetarian food, becoming a pious person, saintly person, is extremely difficult thing. But that has happened because of association with a pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. That's how the whole life changed. So association is extremely important. Now Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, have you seen in the society somebody is very saintly, somebody is drug addict, somebody is in between. Isn't that true? Am I right? Are all of them, all people in the society are the same level? No. Somebody doesn't care about the Lord. Somebody is atheist. Somebody, they are Brahmins, they are saintly people. Somebody is drug addicts. Somebody, they think, if I get money, I'll go to the temple. Materialistic people. Yes. So there are different grade of people in the society. So how can they do bhakti? Question is this. How can they do bhakti? They are not at the same level. But Krishna gives the formula in Bhagavad Gita for all kind of people how to do bhakti. So there is difference are there in bhakti also. Not everyone is at the same level. The topmost level, like gopis, Mai avesh manoye mam nityukta upasate shakdhaya paryopeta tamayukta tamata. Gopis are always thinking about the Lord. Nothing else but the Lord only. So the highest form of bhakti is there. Then Krishna says, okay, so meditate on me all the time. In chapter 12, text 8, Krishna says, Mai e man adhastva mai buddhim niveshaya nivesasi mayev at urdham na sansaya. So he's telling that always just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. So meditating on Krishna all the time is the topmost bhakti that gopis has, or Maharaj, those people who have given their life for the Lord, they have that kind of bhakti. But as I have told you, in the society, not everybody are at the same level. Then how can they do bhakti? So Krishna gives the answer that if you can't do this, then do regulative principle of bhakti yoga. That means do archana as per the rules and regulation. You have altar at your home, serve the Lord. Offer bhoga to the Lord. Do archana to the Lord. So that is called following the regulative principles of bhakti yoga. So if you can't meditate on Krishna 24 hours a day, then follow the regulative principle of bhakti yoga. That is also a bhakti. Of course, it's not the topmost, but second top, you can think like this. But not everybody has got the altar at home. Is it true? Not everybody has got altar at home. But if they want to do bhakti, how can they do bhakti? Krishna gives formula about that also. He tells that achittam samadhatum na shaknosi mayi sthiram abhyas yogin tato mam ikshantum dhananjaya. So that is the bhakti yoga for. Next says, if you can't meditate on me all the time, if you can't follow regulated principles of bhakti yoga, then work for me. So those people who are working in the kitchen, they are also doing bhakti because they are working for Krishna. Isn't that true? So that is also bhakti. Those who are serving the altar, they are, pujari, they are doing bhakti yoga. Regulative principle of bhakti yoga, they are following. That is also bhakti. And those Maharaj who are preaching everywhere, they are the top level because they are meditating on Krishna all the time and glorifying Krishna everywhere. So they are the top level. So we see in the society how different category of people are fitting. Those who are sannyasi, they are preaching everywhere, the topmost people. Then next one, in the altar somebody is following regulatory principle of bhakti yoga, there is also bhakti. Somebody in the kitchen is helping to the chef, there is also bhakti because they are working for Krishna. So Krishna is telling, if you can't do first two, do the third one, do work for me. But still there are few people are left. So about them, Krishna is telling, if you can't do first three, then what you do? Athetadapi ashaktvasi kartum mad yogam ashita sarv karm phal tyagam tata kuru yatatman. If however you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated. Try to give up all the results of your, that means what? Charity. You know? Some people can't do those things. They can't meditate on Krishna 24 hours. Some people may not be able to follow regulatory principle of bhakti yoga. You know? Some people may not be able to help in the kitchen, you know, work for Krishna. But there's a category of people who can donate money. Their hard-earned money they can donate. Charity they can do. So that is also a kind of bhakti. Because once you donate money for the Lord, then slowly and slowly you get purified. And the love for the Lord comes in you. So different ways of bhakti that is can be done. Krishna talks about that bhakti in chapter 12 of Bhakti Yoga. Then he further talks about that Seyo hi jnanam abhyasas jnana dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phal tyagas tyagas shanti anantaram. If you cannot take to this practice, other four you can't do it. And he says, engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Then he talks about Jnana Yoga. So all other top is Bhakti Yoga. But then he talks about if you can't do Bhakti in this way, then get the knowledge. Then he is telling, better than meditation is, better than knowledge is meditation, better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. That is tyag. That is tyag. So Krishna is telling different ways how you can come back to him. So there are different categories of people in the society, but they can go back to Godhead by following one of those options that Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Anybody have got any question that you want to ask? Anyone has got? Yes, Mati. Yeah. Yeah, very true. It takes time. It doesn't come automatic just like this. See, this is the human mentality. The human mentality is that until unless you get some kind of motivation, you will not do the work. Is that true? For example, you are working in any organization. You think, okay, if I'll get promotion, I'll do more work. Is that true? Or if you do work more and you get promotion, you get motivated to do more and more work. So exactly. So in spiritual life is also like that. First you have to take the step. When you take the step, Lord reciprocates according to your surrender. Then you start seeing the magic in your life. That how Krishna is protecting you. Everything is happening in your life very smoothly. Something you have never thought you could achieve, you are able to achieve now. So that is the reciprocation of Krishna's love. That you have loved Krishna, Krishna is reciprocating back to you. Then it motivated you. Then you go further. So I should do more. But in the beginning, you have to take this step. You take one step, Krishna will take 3 steps towards you. To make you realize that he is watching you. He is there in your life. That is how it works. Everybody wants some kind of motivation. But to get reward from Krishna, first you have to show your part, show your love towards Krishna. Once you have loved Krishna, then Krishna starts loving you. Okay. So now I'll tell you one story. How many of you have heard about Ambarish Maharaj? Okay. I think many people know that. Okay, but anyway, there is nothing wrong in hearing again. Because the hearing the glories of the Lord is more you hear, more you want to hear. It's like this. It's a kind of addiction. So Ambarish Maharaj was a great devotee. Ambarish Maharaj was actually great grandson of Manu, from Manu, I think 4th generation from Manu. He was great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, or you can say Lord Krishna, because Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all others are expansion. So and so that once he decided that he will do Ekadasi, and he did Ekadasi perfectly for 1 year. In olden days, I don't know whether nowadays they do it, after 1 year of Ekadasi, people used to have Ekadasi Udyapan. That I have completed 1 year of Ekadasi, so they used to have Ekadasi Udyapan. And they, call Brahmins to do puja. So when Ambarish Maharaj did Ekadasi for full 1 year, and every Ekadasi he was not even drinking water. So that kind of Ekadasi, that means Nirjala Ekadasi, all Ekadasi. And then after 1 year, the Udyapan was set. So Durvasa Muni, who is Durvasa Muni, you know that? He is the Muni who gives curse more than benediction. Very, very less chances that he will get benediction. More chances that he will get cursed. So Durvasa Muni came with all his 1,000 disciples. He came. So when Ambarish Maharaj was a great devotee of the Lord, a very humble devotee, when he saw that Durvasa Muni has come, he paid obeisances to Durvasa Muni and said, please come and sit here, that I am going to break my fast today. Today is the Udyapan day. So Durvasa Muni said, wait for me, I am going to take bath in the river, then I will come. Till that time you wait, don't break your fast. So he went with his disciple and he was taking bath very long time, and here the Udyapan period was getting over. So Brahmins advised Ambarish Maharaj that he was a king, he was actually emperor. He advised him that the time is running out, you have to break your fast. But then he is telling, how can I break fast? Because I have already given word to Durvasa Muni that I will wait for. He told me you have to wait for me. So I have to wait for him. But when it was very close, then all the advisors advised him that, okay, you don't want to eat grain, that's fine, just drink water. Because drinking water is something, you have not broken the fast, and also you have broken the fast. Normally in the fast we say grain. Water doesn't come in that one, unless it is Nirjala Ekadasi. So he just took the water, one sip of water, and Durvasa Muni entered. Durvasa Muni became very furious. No? You didn't listen to my advice, and you have broken your fast without waiting for me. So you have to face of this action that you have done. You have insulted me. So he took out 2 hairs from his head and put mantras, and the 2 demons came out. And he ordered demons to kill Ambarish Maharaj. But Ambarish Maharaj was such an exalted personality that Lord Vishnu had given him Sudarshan Chakra to protect. So then immediately Ambarish Maharaj, without telling anything, he closed his eyes and remembered Lord Krishna. And then the Sudarshan, the moment the demon started coming forward, first all his other soldiers who were there in that kingdom, they came to protect king. But that the demon started hurting them. So they came out. So when the demon came towards Ambarish Maharaj, Sudarshan Chakra started following and chopped up both the demons. Then Sudarshan Chakra started following to Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was in trouble now. See, because when Sudarshan Chakra started spinning, it produced a lot of heat. It produced a lot of heat. So he was burning with the heat. So he started running. So first he went to, Brahmaloka, and asked for, please protect me. I'm in trouble, please protect me. Brahma said, I can't do anything. You ask help of Lord Shiva. Probably Lord Shiva can do something. So he went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, I can't do anything. This is Lord Vishnu's Sudarshan Chakra. So finally he went to, Durvasa Muni went to Lord Vishnu's planet. And Lord Vishnu said, well, I can't do anything. I'm actually a slave of my devotee. I have given protection to my devotee. Whatever devotee wants, that's it. That will happen. So if you want any help, you have to go back to my devotee only to get any help. So Durvasa Muni again came back to Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was, waiting. He was just praying that nothing should happen to Durvasa Muni. He was such an exalted personality. See, even after so much of insult, he was praying that Durvasa Muni should not be hurt. So Durvasa Muni fell at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj requested Sudarshan Chakra not to harm, and that is how he was saved. So that is the position of a devotee. Devotee is protected by the divine nature. Krishna says that all my devotees are protected by my divine nature. So this is a very important point. Devotional service is very potent. Once you are devotee, Lord is always there to protect you. 24 hours a day. It's not that, particular time. 24 hours a day, you are under the protection of the Lord. Anybody has got any question? There are 5 minutes are left, so if you ask question. Yes, Prabhu.
Is the, I don't know the word for it, but is the wholly conscious person a manifestation of Lord Krishna? If you come across somebody who's just wholly conscious, the energy is just constantly flowing and moving, it uplifts you like everything is gone.
Yeah, very true, Prabhu. We are all our energy of the Lord. First thing, we are all part and parcel of the Lord. So any good quality, something super quality that somebody has is because of the Lord's mercy. We can't see that because it may happen because of his good karma in past life, or it may happen because of good karma in this life. But it's all the energy of the Lord. So as part of Sanatana Dharma, somebody says Jesus is God, we accept that. We accept that it's Lord's energy. Some other form, it is Lord's energy. And Lord can appear in any form depending upon place, time and circumstances. So you are right, it's all Lord's energy. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he may appear in some other form. Like Vyasdev wrote so many scripture. So Vyasdev is literally incarnation of the Lord. So what's your name, please? What's your good name, Prabhu?
Glenn.
Okay, Glenn. Prabhuji, there is a Bhagavad Gita book for you, because you have asked too many questions, you have answered many questions. Prabhuji, can you give it to him? So there is one more book to you on today. So I ask few questions and you have to reply correctly. Whosoever will raise hand first, and if he answers that question correctly, then you will get that. how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita, and Bhakti Yoga is from which chapter to which chapter? Tell me.
18 chapter,
And
18 chapter, and what starts on the 7 to 11.
wrong. Okay. Who is the next? Bas, Prabhu, this is your book for. Anyway, we have to stop here. Any other question? Anybody wants to? Mataji, I can't hear anything. So much noise in the background. Can you come a bit closer?
Yeah. Like sometimes like a devotee, the material world, you feel like a little problem is coming. So you feel like a little bit doubt, how I solve this problem, what can I do, what
Yeah.
can I do. So that time when you doubt your mind, what have to do?
The devotees, as you said, sometimes there is a problem with the devotee. Yeah, it will come because, the good and bad results will bite you sooner or later. So when the problem comes, think the Lord has reduced your problem. Actually, you would have faced much bigger problem because you are the devotee of the Lord. Lord has made that problem reduced to certain extent. So you have to take the life as it is and do more devotional service. That should be the attitude of devotee. Devotee should not reciprocate in anger. Oh, I'm doing so much of service, still Lord is giving me so much of trouble. We should never think like that. Because actually Lord has reduced your punishment. Otherwise you would have got much more punishment. So you should be in equilibrium all the time. Whether it's bad time or good time, it's all by the mercy of the Lord. After all, you are not here permanently. Think that. You are not here permanently. So even if there is something good, it's temporary in nature. Or something bad is temporary in nature. I think I'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anand Koti Vaishnava, all goes to saints, all goes to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.